Hi, I'm Cory with Neil Rudel, our Paterno presser. We just got finished with Joe Paterno's weekly press conference following the 24-3 loss to Alabama. He actually wasn't in as much of a bad mood as I thought he might be. He came out, he joked, he had a little small talk today. Clearly he's upset, but he seems to be handling it okay.
Yeah. We said, he said, how you doing? No, we said, how you doing? And then he kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, you know how I'm doing. But he did break the ice. Now, he had a little bit of a meltdown after the game where he kind of barked at one of the guys. And I think this was the week that had that potential. But he got that out of his system, I think, after the game. So you can't come in here, either on a Tuesday or even Saturday and play that card very often because then I think it really smacks of some bigger other questions. So I think the theme was, we got to get better. He repeated that about 10 times.
Neil, you've been around Joe since 1977. Even at this point, regardless of what the ranking is, he wants to win a national championship. I think we all know that. This is the first loss of the year. Maybe he realized they were outmanned or what have you, but the first loss of the year for Joe, when he understands at this point you're probably not going to repeat 82 and be able to bounce back and win a national title. How difficult are these first losses for him when really the chance he kind of knows is gone?
Well, I think you might have seen that. It might have been a combination after the game of the Heat, the late at night. I mean, he is 83. I think he's realistic, even though he told everybody Tuesday that they were outmanned. I don't know that he really believed that. I think he felt that they could move the ball against Alabama's defense, capitalize a little better, but I think he still is most disappointed in his own defense, and now is the chance for them to regroup these next couple of weeks, get the personnel in place, and be more competitive in the Big Ten schedule, particularly on the road, than they were at Alabama.
One issue that we discussed with Joe, I asked him and asked Jack Crawford about playing this type of team at this time of the year. We will have a story on this in Wednesday's Altoona Mirror, written by Josh Langenbacher, who is on the camera work today. But I think it's important to play this kind of game, even if you lose, even if you kind of look bad in some areas. It beats playing Akron, Syracuse, and Temple and getting an overvalued estimation of who you are, because last year they did that. They play Iowa, and they were clearly outmanned. This year, when they go to Iowa in Week 5 for the Big Ten opener, they're going to know what this environment is like.
I agree 100%. And, you look at the interest that that game showed, how many Penn State fans traveled to that game. So I think there's a lot to be learned. I think they're still experimenting with a lot of personnel. Troutman and Pennell, there's a question of which one. He said Troutman is now ahead of Pennell.
It almost never fails when we do this presser that we get one of the trucks going by. So he did interrupt you there, Neil. But Troutman and Pennell at left guard, how do you see that playing out?
Well, he said that Troutman is now ahead of Pennell. I saw... I think a lot of mixed new players on defense that they're still looking.
There weren't really a lot of questions today about Kent State, okay? But Kent State gave Boston College a representative effort. Clearly you could have a letdown factor here for Penn State. Joe was asked, or Jack Crawford was asked, how do you refocus from this? Because they spent all summer preparing for Alabama. So what do you expect? A little bit of a hangover this weekend?
Definitely. It's going to be definitely an emotional hangover. It's a noon start. There'll be a lot of empty seats, plenty of tickets. Perfect week to bring your kid to the game and get a cheap ticket. So I think you have to be that much better physically and execution-wise, because emotionally you're not going to, even in defeat, at least you were emotional for Alabama. So I think that's going to be important.
Score prediction for Kent State?
I took it Penn State 30, Kent State 13. Kent State did hang in there with Boston College at BC, and I think it was only 3-3 about at half. So, I don't think this is a game with as many issues as Penn State has had that they can just show up and win. I mean, just show up and dominate.
My score was also 30-13, but you took it Sunday night on the Nitwits, so I'm going to go a little different. I'll go 27-13, just so we can be a little bit different. But I think Kent State will come in here and possibly give them at least a game for a little while, as Penn State's kind of having the hangover effect. But we'll see. Yeah. The
only other thing I wanted to mention, and it happened late Saturday night, is Russ Rose and the volleyball team had their 109-game winning streak snapped at Stanford. So to me, they got to get rid of Russ Rose.
What a great program Russ Rose has with the volleyball, a couple national championships in a row. So
real dynasty.
People who don't know Neil don't know that he's saying that sarcastically.
And, just to put a quick wrap on it, Joe has said that in his whole 60 years here at Penn State, he's been around. They've had 4 or 5 great coaches, and he lists Whetstone of gymnastics. I think he puts Spidell in wrestling, and then Bill Jeffrey in soccer, and Russ Rose. He always mentions, one of the 3 or 4 best coaches in Penn State history.
For Neil Rudel, I'm Cory Geiger. Thanks for tuning in.